Anyway, here's the outbreak. And then we're going to talk about Israel-Palestine because Israel strikes in Gaza after fire balloons were launched from Gaza. They are using a similar technique that they did back in the day. Like they were using kites back in the day. And now they're using balloons. Here's the 1 minute outbreak now.
The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has been broken after less than 4 weeks. Israel says it's attacked Hamas armed compounds in the Gaza Strip after incendiary balloons were launched from the Palestinian territory on Tuesday. It's the first test for Israel's new government, which was sworn in on Sunday. Tom Bateman has more from Jerusalem.
Well, these airstrikes lasted around 10 minutes. Palestinians in Gaza reported hearing extremely powerful, loud explosions as they took place. The Israelis say they targeted Hamas militant sites, and that was in response to the sending over the perimeter fence during the day of so-called incendiary balloons. Now, these are small helium balloons that are flown over the fence with burning objects attached. And this had been a tactic used in the past by Hamas in Gaza. That had set fire to some Israeli farmland, around 20 or so fires, according to the fire service in Israel. So that had been the context for this break of the ceasefire, albeit not a return to the kind of intense hostilities we were seeing a few weeks ago, and no rockets fired, importantly, from Gaza towards Israel, which would have been a sign, I think, of another steep escalation if that response had taken place as well. Now, all of that came in the context of the events in Jerusalem, and that was an ultra-nationalist flag march.
So they did another one of these like psycho fucking flag marches, which I will show you in more gruesome detail than BBC will, most likely. I don't know if they show the... Hold on. Let me see if I can find... I think Mohammed El Kurd posted about it, right? Oh, here it is.
النكبة الثانية عن طريق هبة تقول النكبة الثانية بخنف لي تقول انت ودينك مسخرة ومسخرة عربي دوب عربي بكيفر عربي ببنتونا يهودي بين الشباب عربي ببنتونا شو يا ربيت ما ديك لا لو دبرت يا جدع يا ده הבית שלנו. לך לתאילנד. פהם עליי? בית שלנו. מוות לערבים! מוות לערבים! מוות לערבים!
Why Thailand? Can you still defend religious Andy's fucking idiot? Dude, you are literally the dumbest person if you think white nationalism is exclusively a product of religion. Like, you're so fucking stupid, dude. Like, when you see this shit and your first reaction is like, wow, religion did this, like, you're literally a fucking idiot, dude. Wow, I can't believe the religion did this, dude. Wild. Like, religion is one justifier in the eyes of so many of these people, but that's not the fucking main cause or source of the conflict. Also, they're not even saying like kill all the Muslims. They're saying kill all the Arabs. So I really hate your downplay of religion in this conflict. Religion makes their cause morally just and motivates them to keep killing and feel moral about it. Religion is ideology, okay? It is a justifier. It is not the main cause. Zionism is a significant problem there, not fucking religion. Bro, Israelis just want peace. Come on. You're kidding, right?
Hey, here for 7 months. Keep up the awesome work, brother.
That's the point, though. Religion is used as a tool for bad things. Same idea with guns being used to perpetrate killings, even though it's not the main cause. Oh my God. Okay, guys. Religion has been used as a tool of oppression and a tool of liberation throughout
A
history.
million girls want you
Okay?
to be daddy, but I just want you to be my dad.
Abolition movements in the United States were also backed by Christian abolitionists. Religion is not the main fucking source of this conflict. There's also religious people on the other side of this equation as well. This is colonialism. Talking about colonialism from the framework of like religious supremacy is so fucking asinine and betrays the core values that you potentially have or you supposedly espouse. Okay? Like if your core values are about liberating humans from oppression, then you're hyper focused on a theocratic, certainly, ethno state and its colonial project, its colonialist project, and its endless expansion and endless cruelty that it subjects Palestinians to should not center around just religion. They use religion as a basis or as a justification. It's not correct. But ultimately, their main goals is not like to, you know, make sure that their God wins or something or whatever the fuck. Their main goals are to have this entire land. They want to literally have this land. They want Palestinians to fucking die. And they want to have this land. Jesus Christ. And there are also Jews who are anti-Zionist. Fuck. I swear people like to make you mad on purpose by saying the complete opposite, like they're trolling you. They want the land because they believe it belongs to them through their religion, don't they? Oh my God, dude. Yeah, they're honest brokers on what they believe is their religion, dude. Just like without religion, if atheism existed in the United States, like the slaver wouldn't have used the Bible as a justification and therefore would magically refuse to do slavery. Brilliant analysis. Thank you. Yeah, totally, dude. They would the Israelis that engage in their brutal occupation would no longer do it if religion didn't exist magically. Anyway, do you think a world without religion would still have the same problems? Sorry if it's a dumb question. Yes, I do. Because I'm not of the belief that like these issues exclusively revolve around religion. Religion is like fucking... Religion in many ways is more organized, but no different than like the fucking chakra shit that we joke about, okay? Or people who love crystals. Or people who think they're witches and shit. It's just a form of spirituality to give your life a sense of organization, to contextualize things that are unknown, that are impossible to comprehend currently with our with the current scientific achievements. Okay, gives you a sense of purpose, gives you like a moral foundation. That's it. But morality exists without religion as well. And immoral actions exist without religion as well.
"11 months poggers, can I get a welcome to the jungle?"
Anyway. It's hard to describe this to people who fucking feel like they have been oppressed by religious people their entire lives, and I get that. I sympathize with that. Like it's like telling an abuser to suck it up, you know what I mean? But it's not the same, of course. Not an abuser, sorry. Telling someone who's been abused, a victim of abuse, to suck it up. The problem is over land rights. Religion is just the pastiche used to defend these grabs. If it's not religion, they use some other justification. Yeah, I mean, dude, if it's not religion, then they're going to be like, we need a fucking land for Jews to live safely. Like, we need a land for, don't say religion, okay? Don't say Jews. We need a land for our people to live safely. That's what they're going to say. And they do say that. And then they tie religion on top of it. Wow, bro, you're really going to compare hot crystal mommies to the IDF? Motherfucker hasn't seen like hot IDF mommies then. Also, yeah, that's true too. When they say Jews were here 2,000 years ago, they're not even talking about fucking religion. They're talking about archaeology. Like, there's a religious flavor added to it, but I mean, it's a ridiculous fucking take regardless. Like, even if we are to say that you can do that, even if we are to say that, like, oh, if you lived on a land 2,000 years ago, then it's your land, you have claim to it, it's still completely unacceptable to fucking murder the people that are currently living on that land. Okay? Anyway, as we were looking at, where is it?
That took place, Israelis marching towards occupied East Jerusalem, towards the old city, and at Damascus.
This is literally the fucking Charlottesville. Just to give you guys a framework here. What they're doing here is if the American state sanctioned Charlottesville on Tulsa, like the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally in Tulsa, where openly like Nazis and white supremacists marched through the streets of Tulsa to honor the massacre and the atrocities that they committed in Tulsa. And the government literally celebrated that and allowed it to continue. and they let it happen all the time. This is exact, like, it's incomprehensible. It's such profound cruelty that it is incomprehensible to even, like, try to put it on American terms. The comparison of a Nazi march to this one is just not true? Oh, wait, really? Wait, why? You think the comparison to a Nazi march to this one is just not true? Huh. I wonder why. Let me hear more of it. Hold on. What does he mean by this when he says the second Nakba is coming? Interesting, dude. Interesting. Passover, question mark? No, motherfucker. Nakba is the mass ethnic displacement of Palestinians that these motherfuckers celebrate. Where, you know, magically, how many million, is it a million or hundreds of thousands of Palestinians just magically disappeared from their homes that they used to live in? $700,000. That's what he's talking about here when he says the second Nakba is coming soon. So go ahead, dude. Tell me how that's different than exactly what I was referencing.
Which is a very important gathering area for...
Maybe they moved? Dude, come on. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Palestinians. It's the main entrance to the Muslim quarter of the Old City. The flag parade took place there. Now, that area had been cleared in a forceful...
What does the government or leaders think about this? They sanction this. They know for a fact that these are like ultra-nationalist psychos. And they, by the way, this is occurring on occupied Palestinian territory. They literally walk through the neighborhoods that the Israeli government is currently illegally occupying. Okay? So just remember that. Like, this is an act of aggression and a celebration of ethnic displacement. I don't even need to show you the Israelis that are saying, like, yeah, fuck you, death to all Arabs, for you to comprehend that this is a white supremacist action. Okay? It's disgusting. And it is no different than what American Nazis were doing in Unite the Right. Actually, it is a little different because those American Nazis and neo-Nazis and white supremacists that said Jews shall not replace us down the streets of fucking Charlottesville do not have the same kind of backing and power by the American government. We tried to prevent that from happening. American government is still white supremacist, certainly, okay? There is still a lot of white supremacy that occurs, but never to this degree that, you know, black people aren't being systematically fucking murdered and they are still being jailed, but not to the same degree as, like, routinely being fucking bombed every single time something happens. I've said this before, like, what's happening to Palestinians right now is literally, unfortunately, and this triggers people sometimes, but like what's happening to Palestinians, especially in the Gaza Strip, is worse than, and I hate comparing atrocities like this, but it's worse than what's happening to black Americans right now in America. And what's happening to black Americans right now in America is pretty fucked up. Palestinians have to look forward to, like, I've talked about Palestinian oppression from the framework of, like, white supremacy in the United States, right? Says the white man shaking my head. Shut the fuck up. Shot Lane's response. Those who yell racist remarks are just a minority from all that much. That's why I said the comparison is not just. Yeah, you should say that about the Nazis in Charlottesville. Oh, wait, that's literally what Republicans did. That's wonderful. Why are you comparing it, though? Because people don't understand it. Because people need to understand it. And unfortunately, Americans can only comprehend something from a very American-centric framework.
Yo, add up.
Here's what it's like. Palestinians living inside Israeli borders right now, i.e., the Israeli definition for this is Israeli Arabs, okay? They are currently living in a system that resembles like the Jim Crow South. Maybe a little bit more liberties than black people did in the Jim Crow South pre-civil rights movement. They have more liberties. It's like, so that's the best situation for a Palestinian person. And even then, they can have their rights removed on a whim like this. Okay? That's the best situation for the fucking Palestinians. That's what they look forward to. Or if they ever had the opportunity to.
Free Palestine.
It's apartheid South Africa, not Jim Crow South. Yeah, it's apartheid South Africa. That's the best situation for them. What? I don't know. It's in my bag. One layer worse than the Palestinians living inside of Israeli borders is the Palestinians living in occupied Jerusalem, where they don't have anything. They don't have access to their own natural water supplies. Their fucking wells get destroyed routinely. It takes 15 years for the Israeli government to allow them to like build a new fucking well.
Years to many more.
So those guys at least have some somewhat more, you know, they have some liberties, not as good as the Palestinians living in Israeli borders though, but they're still better off than the Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip, who are living in the world's largest open air prison that routinely gets fucking bombed. In a process which Israeli authorities call mowing the lawn.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Way by the Israeli police. Palestinians describe it as being aggressive and discriminatory in the way that was done. There was video footage filmed of one man being violently beaten by Israeli police on the steps of Damascus Gate. Witnesses there said that he was refusing to move. The police haven't responded to a request for a statement about that incident itself. But there was certainly the feeling among Palestinians that this was forceful policing. They cleared the area of Palestinians. The Israelis were then allowed in. Some of the marchers chanted death to Arabs and also expressed a desire for some Palestinian neighborhoods to.
Palestine can never be free with Hamas in power. Abolishing Hamas will make Palestine free. Oh, that's a wonderful take, dude. Is that why Israeli authorities chose Hamas as a counterweight against the Palestinian liberation, like the PLO and other organizations that were Marxist? Is that why they thought that Hamas would be easier to deal with and funded them? I didn't realize the Nakba happened because of Hamas, by the way. Yeah, Palestine was literally free during the Nakba, or rather Hamas was the reason for that, right? Yeah, this organization that was created in like 1987 is the reason for a century of oppression, nearly a century of oppression. Such a dumb argument, dude.
To burn. That caused Israel's.
Okay, wait, so you're making his argument? No, I'm being sarcastic, you fucking dingus. I'm saying that Israeli oppression of Palestinians predates Hamas. Hamas is just used as a fucking red herring, as a reason for all of the brutality by ultra-nationalist Zionists.
I don't have a clever sub-message, but I've been catching up on the True Crime Reacts. Good shit.
Foreign Minister Yair Lapid to say that those marchers were a disgrace. He condemned what he said was racism and un-Israeli behaviour, but at the same time he congratulated the policing of the event and said that it had passed in a way that certainly they seemed pleased with in terms of the way it had been managed. So what we were witnessing was a rise in tensions again in Jerusalem, and once again some hostilities around the Gaza Strip, but certainly nothing like the hostilities, the big rise in confrontation that we saw that led to the all-out conflict of last month.
Please don't penetrate my
That's Tom
Israeli
Bateman there.
beliefs.
Do stay with us.